The I know that sometimes Tony books embarrassingly small, putrid, green, inexperienced jobbers, but shouldn't they at least be given the dignity of being announced before they get the kicked out of them? Even if it's a professional wrestling program that and they're obviously substandard to their opponents still just by the fact that it kind of is the custom to introduce who's in the match. Shouldn't they do that on their television program?
No, that would cut into the walking to the ring to the music through the crowd portion of the show.
Old plumber Al Bundy Moxley, 4 touchdowns at Polk High, and poor Claudio, who we never hear from and never see in a single match anymore, and Wheeler Useless were accompanied to the ring by Bryan Danielson, the best wrestler currently in the fucking company. So he's outside. And they jumped 3 job guys and did a 6-way and just beat him up. And referee Aubrey Ed stood there and stared at everything. She had time to eat a whole bucket of oats, much less disqualify the BBC, but instead she just watched them do it. So they beat the jobbers, and then Bryan Danielson cut a promo. He loves his family and Moxley and Claudio and Useless and pro wrestling, and said the jobbers looked like the guys the EVPs would have hired. But it was
bad. You could say it. It was bad.
It wasn't good. It not only wasn't good, but it wasn't great like Bryan was about a year ago when he was by himself and he was doing those intelligent, smart-ass heel promos. It was just he was fake mad. We're the only pro wrestlers in the building. Where did all this come from? And they beat up the babyface jobbers, and he yelled at them. And then Hangnail Page's music plays, and he comes in, and there's all 4 heels standing there, and he just comes in and starts fighting them, and they shut him right down and kick the shit out of him. What did he expect? Did that make the babyface look tough and courageous or look like a complete idiot? When does one guy just walk right in with no equalizer, no nothing, and just start fighting 4 guys and they just kick the shit out of him? And why do you support that guy? And then Danielson is trash talking him. Nobody likes you. Nobody's coming out to help you. And then he pulls out a screwdriver and screams at how everybody is amateurs. He's screaming amateurs over and over again. And because they're the only real pro wrestlers in the building and everybody else is amateurs, that causes him to go to try to gouge Hangnail Page's eye out with a screwdriver. Did I miss crucial plot points here that we went from Bryan Danielson loving his family and the BBC and pro wrestling to he's going to try to take this guy's eye out with a screwdriver?
This whole thing sucks so bad. You missed a few things because he says to Page when they're kicking the shit out of him, you see, you don't have any friends. No one's going to save you. But we've seen his friends save him 1,000,000 times on this show. So we know he, in fact, does have friends who will save him. They're just not coming out there.
It's just the friends are job guys, the Dork Order, and they didn't happen to be around. I guess because the jobber fucking list was full with the 3 unnamed opponents and the Puddin' Gang.
If you were going to beat up the BCC, you know what you should do? Wait by that entrance over where they walk into the stadium. Because they walk through the same way every time. Why wouldn't you just wait there and jump out and kick him in the head?
Yeah. Have a bat or Riho's lead pipe.
This was everything we made fun of Moxley for the last few weeks. Just, oh yeah, we go in there, we kill everyone, everyone goes down, we just keep beating everyone up. Now Yuta's even like the tough guy beating people up. This whole thing is ridiculous. And then Danielson cuts maybe the worst promo of his career. Because he repeated himself too. Once again, it was like, I only care about this guy and this. It went on forever and ever. And then Page comes out there and you're like, this guy's an idiot if he gets in the ring. And then he gets in the ring and runs towards Moxley. And then the screwdriver, like out of nowhere, it's Dusty with the spike. Out of nowhere. This thing was good enough, just him getting his ass kicked. No, now we're going to What did they do with the screwdriver
And
exactly?
Bryan Danielson also, it's the same guy that just had the 60-minute match with MJF and put on one of the greatest matches in the history of the company. And the whole motif, the whole MO was that he was the great technical wrestler that could out wrestle anyone. And then he did that incredible heartfelt promo and talking about how he was conflicted and didn't know which way he was going to go home for a while. Now he comes back using screwdrivers in 2 weeks. What?
And again, it was just the way the last few weeks, the Blackpool Combat Club all of a sudden just beat up everyone for no reason. And knowing that, I want to do something that's like First Blood, Rambo. And I come and I beat everyone up. And then I put on a green jacket and kidnap Brian Dennehy. Like, it's just everything is the same thing every fucking week.
Brian Dennehy.
They just beat up everyone. And it's not good. And again, the Mudline, they've had the Mudline story going the last few weeks throughout the show. The Bucks got hurt and taken away. What's Omega going to do with Callis and Paige? Almost no follow-up to any of that this week, other than the fact that the Blackpool Combat Club and Adam Page were here. Nothing about Omega and Callis and the Bucks, unless I missed it, but I didn't see anything.
I was taking notes, and I didn't hear anything.